Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wrap Corner. It's me, Stephanie, your presidential diamond,
Hi, it's Laura G.
diamond leader. And we're here today to share some tips with you and nuggets and something that me and Laura both have, we've struggled in ourselves. So we thought it would be a good topic to tap into.
Yes, absolutely. How many of you have struggled when it comes to the section of, or the idea of follow-up? You know, we hear over and over and over again how fortune is in the follow-up. However, what is it that holds us back from following up? Because we are so inclined and conditioned to fear the outcome before we even know what it's going to be. And I'm just being transparent with you to let you know that I do too. I really have to build myself up to kind of go in and set myself up with the right expectation. Now, I don't hold the outcome as the way, I don't let that control me, but I do have to have a positive expectation of the interaction. If not, it's going to come across in my tone. So I really work hard on that. But Stephanie has some amazing tips. She's done way more follow-up than I have, not only because she has been in the business longer, but in order to get there, she's had to have way more conversations, way more no's, and way more leads to follow up on than I can even imagine. So she's gonna hit some nuggets home for you guys. You gotta take notes. Get ready. Super good. So, Steph, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you think people make, distributors make, when it comes to follow up?
Well, some of the common ones are they're so fearful of that follow-up that it takes so long to build up the courage to do it. By the time they do, they're exhausted already. They're like totally just like, woo, like that was like so much work and they only made like maybe a couple calls and left a couple voicemails. Another thing is that you think that, because you've sent out 200 emails, then no one returns them. Why? Like, well, what happened? What happened? Nobody's calling me back. And that's usually the most common part is you feel like you're not getting that return on what you're following up. First of all, you're probably not following up enough. And secondly is that make yourself accountable because remember, we're building relationships here. Okay, don't be that salesperson, okay? Like whenever anyone comes into my team and says like, I'm not a salesperson, I don't want anyone as a salesperson on my team. Because when we do our follow-up, it's really to build that rapport and relationship. So if you're following up with someone from an event, which is typically, someone that we've actually had contact with,
right?
We're putting them into our funnel, okay? And the funnel has to keep moving, okay? It's a funnel. And if it doesn't and it gets clogged, you're not going to be able to have people coming through that funnel and becoming loyal customers or distributors. So the first thing is don't be desperate when you call people like that you're selling them something like, hey, this is Stephanie. I met you over at the bridal show and I was just calling this, you didn't win the wrap, but, do you want to wrap still? Do you want to have a wrap party? People are like, whoa, who's this girl? Do I remember her? Did I follow up within a timely manner so people remembered me? You really have a window. 24 to 48 hours after an event to call.
24 to 48 hours.
Right.
I've been very victim to that and let way too much time go by.
Oh, and me too. I've called after some events and I've found old leads and I'm like, oh wow, I don't even remember which event it was. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to follow up still. I mean, who knows? Maybe one out of those 10, 20 leads could lead me somewhere.
Can I mention a little something that I've done on those where I'm just like, oh, I'm smacking my own hand? I will email them or message them and say, hey, I'm not sure if you got my email, but I sent it after the event that I met you in, which is a lie because I really didn't send it. But I'm hoping it'll break the ice and kind of remove my accountability. I don't know, is that totally bad? But it works sometimes because, hey, they have a spam folder and they might be like,
oh yeah,
oh no, I didn't. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no worries.
Yeah, totally. And one of the things too is that don't be that spam. Like, you don't want to spam people where they feel like you're just going copy and paste, copy and paste. They want to, like, wouldn't you want to be like, feel like, oh, that girl remembered me. So here's a tip, is if you're at events and you mesh with someone at an event and you feel like, wow, this person I really connected with, put a note on the back of their slip she wore red lipstick, and she loves dancing, and she's into Zumba. She works out at, because now when you follow up, it's like, hey, it's me, Stephanie. We met at this event, and remember you were telling me that you really enjoy doing Zumba. And I know you know a lot of people in the health and wellness industry. Just wanted to know if you could put me in front of some of those girls. That's my passion, is health and wellness. Did I say buy my product anywhere? No. I'm building rapport. I'm trying to get in front of people, but I'm not throwing up on people about just buy my product.
Quality follow-up.
Quality over quantity.
Because you're saying you could send out the 200 emails, but if you didn't connect with somebody
No
and have
personal.
any sort of quality engagement, it's almost like null and void, right?
Yep. Another thing is that I get this a lot, and I know you have from distributors as well, is that you meet someone and they're really interested, and then you cannot get a hold of them. They've joined the witness protection program. They're avoiding you at all costs.
Yeah.
And they're not avoiding you. You're just not on the top of the priority list. Sorry, I hate to say it, you're just not. And so don't take offense to it, don't take it personally, but here's what I want, this is just a little advice, is that put up like you know how when you put like a string out for a cat and you kind of pull at it, it's got like a little toy at the end, and you kind of pull it away and it kind of like comes back at you and it's like trying to grab it. Okay, same thing with our business. If you feel like someone is pulling away from you, you guys, here's what you have to do. You gotta push back a little and go, hey, you know what? It's okay. Like if it's just not a good time, or if you're not like interested, don't worry about it, because then they'll end up probably going, no, I am. It's just things are really busy and crazy. I totally get it. Don't let them feel like you're bugging them, because if you feel like you're bugging them, you're bugging them. But what's wrong with giving them like some straightforward, like, hey, if it's not the right time, just be forward with me. Let me know.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
They will. I have in the past, because I always, whenever I'm going to make those phone calls, I relate how I would feel when people follow up with me. Because I actually appreciate when people follow up with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you do forget.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wow. I totally slipped that.
Yeah. So those are just some of the things that that I had. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is, don't leave that phone conversation without making, or whatever touch you've had with them, without following up the next time. So if you know that you met someone at an event, say, what nights are good for you? I'm going to call you. Tuesday nights are the best? Okay, that's when I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you this Tuesday.
So you're setting their
expectation.
expectation.
You're setting it up for success, because now you know their availability. And you're also, if you're on the phone with them, so you're making that follow-up call, as heavy as that phone is, and they, you're building that rapport with them, you're like, you know what, it was really great talking to you tonight, and I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got to get back to your family, but why don't I email you some information on the Fat Fighters, because that's what the conversation was, let's just say. And why don't we talk again tomorrow night? I'll give you a call. What time would be good for you? Because now you're putting them through that funnel. Do you see what I mean? Like that funnel is continuing to go.
And making sure you write down the note.
Yes.
Because I've been really bad sometimes at saying, yes, I'm going to do something and not following up. And I think you lose validity with that person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah.
Big time, where I haven't called someone back that I was like, oh my gosh, I told her I was going to call her back tomorrow night, and I didn't do it. Right. And then, sometimes it's like the reminder went off, but then I hit snooze and then I forgot. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So don't kick yourself too hard, but really try to be accountable for that, because people will appreciate that.
They organize with your business in that sense.
So that's really what I got for you.
Yes, that's awesome. Follow up, it's key, it's important, it's vital, and don't take it personally. And, even have a group follow-up session with your team. We've done that a few times where we've kind of gotten together, maybe had some, coffee and some fruit or something, and do some follow-up calls with your leader. Sometimes it's so much more comfortable in an environment where you know that other people are going through the same emotions and trials, and you get to be there for each other. And if I hear Stephanie have a successful follow-up and she's on fire, guess what that's going to do to me? I'm going to be like, yes, I can do it. I'm going to get the same result. I may or may not, but it will help.
But it gives you that confidence.
Right.
All right.
All right, guys.
I hope that helped.
See you around the corner.
That's right.
Woo.